on the road. Bam, I'm recording it too. Sometimes I try to record it and then upload it to YouTube. I'm trying to grow my YouTube channel. I'm trying. Do you have a particular reason your morning is exciting, Aaron? Are you doing anything exciting? Or is it just exciting in general? The music got you going. Yeah, so you can, if you want to see what I'm doing over on the YouTube, I've got youtube.com/SageLewis. You can check it out. It's right here. This is going to be bad, isn't it? Robin Everly! I titled this morning, Sunday Morning with Sage, White Lives Matter. To which my wife responded, "You are a whore." And, and not to belittle actual sex workers. Like, I'm not saying I'm good at a lot of things, but I'm good at some things, and I'm very excited. Why? What's going on, Aaron? Woo! Aaron has some excitingness. I know how to stir the shit, to create controversy, and I just thought a title of White Lives Matter could really upset people. But of course, then my wife is like, Sage, and I'm like, what do you take me as, a total moron? My nephew's a visit. Oh my gosh, Aaron. Oh, that's so fun. Oh, that's lovely. That's so lovely. You're going to have a lovely day. Of course, I realize when you say Blue Lives Matter, which is the most ridiculous statement on planet Earth, or, nobody even has the gall to say White Lives Matter. It's a protest to the protest. It's a protest of you protesting, That's why you can't say Blue Lives Matter, White Lives Matter, because it's like saying, it's like when you steal got milk, except way more insulting. Like, got cheese, got water, everybody stole that. Remember that got milk thing? But it's worse because what the underlying message is, let's y'all keep it real. That's right. Hey, Ron, what's up, man? I think Americans, and probably all humans, have a bad problem of being binary. And haven't we learned now that gender is non-binary? We're all learning that. I knew a cool guy, he declared himself pansexual. And that's even cooler, not cooler, I don't mean to say, it sounded cooler to me than, say, bisexual. Because, it's just open. It's pansexual, so open. I'm like, wow, that young man he's on a different world than me, being pansexual. I'm old. I think that if I was in college now, I'm glad I'm not, because I think I would take up a heroin habit and a lot of crazy sex. I think. I say that now. I don't know. Probably chicken out. But, I don't need that in my life right now. I don't need a heroin habit or a fentanyl habit. You don't do heroin anymore. Does anybody do heroin anymore? I don't even know if you can get heroin. It's all fentanyl, and which is way more risky, of course. But, it hits the spot. And then, you still have all these sexually transmitted diseases. AIDS is still out there. Let's see. How many people have AIDS today? Let's just see. It says approximately 1.2 million people in the U.S. are living with HIV today. About 14% of them, 1 in 7, don't know it and need testing. HIV continues to have a disproportionate impact on certain populations, particularly racial and ethnic minorities and gay and bisexual men. There we go again. African Americans feeling the brunt of things, and then, of course, homosexuals, bisexuals, and I'm sure now the pansexuals. Okay, wow. I need a working habit. Yes, me too. You know what? Another thing my wife said to me, I'm like, you know what? We need better drugs. We need to do more microdosing of psychedelics. I'm really into that. I'm not physically into it. I'm straight edge. We aren't really live for me now. You are delayed. Oh no. Oh no. That's terrible. I'm like, yeah, man, we need more drugs to help our mental health. She's like, or you could eat right and exercise. And I'm like, boo. Boo. You know, we would make a good Sunday morning cartoon, my wife and I. You know, she's just like the straight man. You know, I come in with my crazy ideas. I had a bad trip on acid once, but felt better the next day. Stress gone. See? These are the things we need to talk about. How MDMT, is that what the kids call it? Ecstasy, Molly, you know, is really helping people. I only did acid once, and it was wonderful. I recommend it. It was wonderful. It was wonderful. But you do have to, you shouldn't just, I did acid once when I was younger and watched the toilet do the jigs. Heroin has been like the new alcohol. Kids just skip drinking these days. Most of us older kids experienced alcohol first. Yeah, I mean, you're not joking, Brandy. You're not joking. Like, I know 15-year-olds that are doing fentanyl. I thought the cops were coming for me for laughing too loud. Yeah, these opiates are really accessible. They, in certain crowds, are accepted, you know. Incidentally, not as accepted in the homeless population. Most people that I know in the homeless population do not like alcohol. Is the worst drug, Omi. Absolutely, positively, without a doubt. Yeah, Omi says socially acceptable and widely available. Yeah. Most homeless people that I know do not like having what they call slow users around. They don't like people doing slow around them. And the reasons are multifaceted. First of all, they hate watching their friends die. Like, it really eats them up, right? As you might imagine. And second of all, it brings the cops. And homeless people notoriously have warrants because they don't have phones, they don't have IDs, they can't go to court, they can't get a ride to court. And so these, you know, they don't show up to court dates, and then they have warrants and they don't want to go to jail. So for the most part, slow users are fairly shunned. And which is interesting because there's a new young woman in town, and I am worried about her. She says she's 19, but other people told me she was 17, and I don't trust a word that comes out of her mouth. But man, she is like just so. You would not know this young woman was living on the street as a homeless opiate user, you know? She's just lovely, sweet, beautiful. And she's, I don't want to get into it, but she's doing some really risky things, like really risky. Like, yeah, using opiates is risky, but it's almost like the least of her problems right now. I work from home and would love to go to work with you on the street someday. Okay. So what I can tell you is my friend Ashley Hughes, who's the community director of the homeless charity and doing some other really incredible things. I don't know if they're official, so I don't want to divulge anything that, I don't have the approval of. But she's really into community building. She believes community is everything. And I would love for you to meet her, Omi, because she would love to meet you. And she really is great at community building. The virus, the COVID thing has really messed up her community building stuff, but she is still doing it, and in very interesting ways. But at any rate, yes, I would like that very much. The thing I do regularly is pick up food at the Akron Canton Food Bank on Fridays. It's almost always a standing appointment. Laren Campbell books it. She's a board member of the homeless charity, and I go pick up the food for the homeless charity. Just to catch you up, because I was one of the founding members of the homeless charity, but I no longer am there in any official capacity. And I hate to be that person, but I'm not scared of getting COVID. Right on. That's okay. You should be honest about that, because that's a valid position that we all need to talk about. I feel like we have a bad habit in this country of isolating ourselves, and as soon as somebody says one thing, then it instantly flips a switch, and then they're like, well, can't be their friend. Like, if I say I'm Black Lives Matter, which I am, I'm a huge supporter of Black Lives Matter, that means I cannot support people that believe in Trump. Like, literally, I have to be one or the other in America, and that's bullshit. That is not true, and it is not true also, liberals, that most Trump supporters are racist fascists. 70 million people voted for Trump, and the vast majority of them are not psychos like you and me yelling into the ether about our specific passions. And honestly, I like you better than I like them. Democracy needs passion. It needs it. Omi says, yeah, I'm liberal, so I'm supposed to drop all. Yeah, you really are. Acid was about the only thing I ever enjoyed. Yeah, it was. I would say it was about 30 years for me, too. I'm almost 50. Yeah, about 30. Yeah. When my kid leaves, I'm seriously thinking about trying some psychedelics again. I'm not going to do drugs when my kid's in the house. I really like being present. I've never drank a drop. My kid is 16. I've never smoked a cigarette. I've never done any illicit drugs since my kid was born. I have about 17 years. I stopped about a year before he was born, and I want to keep it that way. I do not like being not present. I know what it looks. I know what being inebriated is, and it's very disorienting to young people, and I'm not going to be that. But when he leaves, I'm going to seriously examine things. I'm not going to promise you. I really want to do ayahuasca in Peru. That's really, really, really what I want to do. I did stop on State Street and yell at the anti-choice people the other day. As well you should. That is really great. My kids were young, but all gone on a family. Oh, nice, Omi. That's smart. That's good thinking. So we should yell at people that we disagree with. We should. You should absolutely yell at the anti-choice people. And they should yell at you. Because you both have valid points, don't you? Can we all agree on that, on the abortion thing? Okay, look. I'm not even going to tell you what side I'm on because I don't want you. I'm very strongly on a side. Maybe some of you know, but I'm not going to tell you what side I'm on. I'm going to tell you this. A human is a human. Okay? It's never an acorn. It's never a squirrel. It's never a fish. It's always a human. It meets as soon as that egg and sperm come together. They have no valid point. Okay, I'm going to try and convince you, Ami. This is good. This is my practice, okay? Look. So, hold on. This is good. I'm practicing. I'm trying to bring us together, okay? I could have 1 million abortions and it would not affect one person. I agree. That's, good point, Omi. Good point. Okay, but you are technically killing a human being. Are you or are you not technically killing a human being? You're not killing a buckeye tree. You're not killing a carp or a sea bass. You are killing a human being. Do you or do you not agree? When you have an abortion, you are killing a human being. So, if you can't understand that perspective, you haven't. I want choice. Yes. Yes. And okay, I give up. I'm the pro-choice guy. Look, I'm a feminist. Okay? And I can't hold on anymore. I believe that I'm removing a growth. Yes. A human is someone with a social security number. Oh. Well then, everyone that's not an American, therefore, is not human. I'm sorry, Omi. A social security number does not make you human. It does not. It's a woman's choice. Yeah, a human can be claimed as a dependent on my taxes. I can't be claimed on your taxes, Omi. You're going to abort me now? My goodness. Okay, hold on. Well, no, don't hold on. Keep going. I like it. So look. It's very convenient that we make laws that control women's bodies, okay? A human can be claimed, every country has a way to track their people for their census. You can be claimed on someone's tax. I can? You want to claim me? Do you have to feed me? Do you have to feed me if you claim me? What do I get if you claim me? Anything? Okay, look. I'm here to tell you that if men gave birth, there would be no abortion laws. 100% there would be no abortion laws, and that's the problem, you see. Because in Ohio, a child born to an... I'm reading a book about the 1919s, and, and women were not allowed to smoke outside in America. It's in the public. It's 100% her responsibility, and no man has any legal rights to say yes. Right. So, for what it's worth, I don't think I'm into the viability camp. If you're all like, well, it's a human and we have to save this precious life, then I'm like, well, get it out and you save it. You care so much about it, you don't care about me and my situation here. You take this fetus. Well, I can't. I mean, you need to do it. It's your responsibility, blah, blah, blah. And then that's bullcrap. Because I'm telling you, men would never stand for abortion rights if they gave birth. Do you remember the Blair Witch, the Salem witch trials? It's a way to trap women into marriage and staying home. Yeah, I tend to agree that it's not about actually caring about fetuses. I just don't believe it. I believe it's controlling women, and that's the problem. ultimately, and that's why I am pro-choice. But I am also, like, did I tell you, like, my kid had a piñata at his birthday party, and I felt bad for the piñata because it was getting so beaten up and torn to shreds. That's me, okay? Like I will save, like I will take a ladybug or a stink bug outside, okay? So of course I have empathy for a fetus. Of course I do. It's just natural for me, okay? We have homeless, yes, of course. Yes, that's right. Oh, no one's picking to save homeless children, but they're in there saving fetuses. Isn't that convenient? Good point, Omi. Very good point. So yeah, I'm all for saving fetuses. If the woman has not been coerced to do so. I mean, what I would like is to not legislate this, educate this, okay? Like, be like, hey, of course you can have an abortion. You just say the word. I'm going to rush you right in. Yeah, or even just the 40% of children in Akron that live below the poverty line. Anybody got a picket sign for them? Anybody? Hey, Joyce, what up? What up? What up? What up? How about the 2,000 homeless kids in Akron, Ohio? There's only 20,000 kids in the public school system. 2,000 of them are homeless. Anybody got a picket sign for them? Anybody? No? No? I wonder why it's fetuses you give a shit so much about. Huh? Because you don't like women. That's why I think. That's why I think. So, women priests. We need women priests. Absolutely we do. I will never be a Catholic until, and I probably will never be a Catholic, but I would never ever be a Catholic as long as women can't be priests. Do not agree. What do you not agree? Yeah. Tell me what you don't agree with, Aaron. I want to know. I want to know. I want to know. I want to know. What I can tell you is that there's a woman right now who is 9 months pregnant, living outside in Akron. You're an atheist. I used to be an atheist. I'm not anymore, but I totally understand why you are. I joke about starting my own religion. You should start your own religion. You got to find connection. I believe religion is about connection. I don't want to pay taxes. Okay, yeah, good idea. Start that. And start doing shrooms at your no taxes and shrooms in your religion, and I might sign up. You'll go to jail though. They don't give. They'll let you do opiates before they'll let you not pay taxes. Although you can not pay taxes if you're Amish. That's interesting. Okay, you could. Your religion might work, homie. Your religion might work. I have never met a homeless woman who has been pregnant, and I've known quite a few who have had an abortion. Never. Never. Okay, good. That's good to know. That's good to know, Omi. Okay. Churches don't pay taxes. Oh, good point. Oh, you're right. You're right. You're right. I'm sorry. You're right. Good thinking, Omi. All right, get your church. Did you hear that the Church of Satan, it's not what it's called. The Temple of Satan? Let's see. Temple of Satan. Is that what it is? The Satanic Temple. Do you guys know the Satanic Temple? I love where this show just goes. Right here. Omi, you should join these guys. The Satanic Temple. Empathy, reason, and advocacy. The mission of the Satanic Temple is to encourage benevolence and empathy, reject tyrannical authority, advocate practical common sense, oppose injustice, and undertake noble pursuits. Maybe I'm going to become one of these guys. The Satanic Temple. We have publicly confronted hate groups, fought for the abolition of corporal punishment in public schools, applied for equal representation when religious installations are placed on public property. They put the Baphomet statue like next to the Ten Commandments. They're awesome. Provided religious exemptions and legal protection against laws that unscientifically restrict women's reproductive anatomy, exposed harmful pseudoscientific practitioners in mental health care, organized clubs alongside other religions, after-school clubs in schools besieged by proselytizing organizations, and engaged in other advocacy. This sounds like my kind of group, doesn't it? I haven't been over here in a long time. Fundamental tenets. One should strive to act with compassion and empathy toward all creatures in accordance with reason. The struggle for justice is ongoing and necessary pursuit that should prevail over laws and institutions. One's body is inviolable, subject to, that's intellectuals talking. I don't even know what that means. I guess it's your own body. Could have used a better word. I mean, it's a good word. I just don't know what it means. The freedoms of others should be respected, including the freedom to offend. To willfully and unjustly encroach upon the freedoms of another is to forego one's own. Belief should conform to one's best scientific understanding of the world. One should take care never to distort scientific facts to fit one's beliefs. People are fallible. If one makes a mistake, one should do one's best to rectify it and resolve any harm that might have been caused. Every tenet is a guiding principle designed to inspire nobility in action and thought. The spirit of compassion, wisdom, and justice should always prevail over the written or spoken word. Don't you love them? Don't you love them? I know I do. I know I do. You got to go, Aaron? What? Okay, Aaron, I love you. You have a wonderful day with your nephew. Take care, and I will see you next time. Bye. I haven't watched the Borat movie. Have you? Is it good? So I sold my car to have an abortion. That child is now 12. Right on. Yeah. How can they afford it? Well, I will say this. I've never had a homeless person ask for an abortion. It's never come up. I've never had a homeless person say they want an abortion. And they typically also do not go to adoption agencies. And I know an adoption person, and I always offer that. I'm like, well, would you like to talk to an adoption person? And they always have somebody that will take their kid. They always do. They always have it. So I always think that's interesting, that homeless people, I've never met, like I said, I've never met a homeless person that had an abortion. Okay. Oh my God, so funny. But they go to a religious clinic and they try to get an abortion for a baby that their dad put in her. Yeah. So at any rate, babies are a hot commodity. Well, that's right. So, I mean, I think that's my stance, is that, like, I would be like, well, look, you say the word, I'll rush you right over here, you get an abortion. But there's also these other things you can do. You can literally make money if you work with an abortion, you can make money if you work with an adoption agency. And they don't like to talk about it, but you do get paid to keep you healthy and blah, blah, blah. So, you know, there's that, and there's people that want them, and you can have all these different kinds of ways to... people want homeless babies, but not homeless big people. And that's the difficulty, right? Like, so I get it. I mean, I just say that over and over again. I get it. Like, so it would be like, well, I support the rights of animals. Well, what about the rights of babies? What about the rights of homeless people? Yeah. I mean, right, of course, but I'm just called to helping animals. I'm sorry. And so I don't think it is fundamentally incongruent to be like, look, I'm drawn to this abortion issue, and I want to save fetuses. I mean, people are just called to different things. That's all. So, yeah, I mean, I think it is... Wouldn't it be better, though, instead of standing in front of an abortion clinic with the fetus, with a picture of a bloody dead fetus, to, like, actually talk to these kids, these moms, these, you know, these young people, these whoever's getting an abortion? And I bet a lot of people that do. But what a lot of times, a lot of people don't spend any time understanding people they fight against. And that bothers me. Yeah, it makes me want to bang my head against the wall. Yeah, it's rough. Go feed someone. Go volunteer to the school. Help a fucking kid read. I know, homie. I know. That's how I feel too. Like it seems like, yeah, go to the root of abortion. Yes. I mean, if you really care that much, why don't you start working with these people? And not working by telling them, spreading the good news of the gospel. That's so lame. I mean, literally helping them. I like the anti-abortion people bother me a lot because it feels like it comes from a place of hate and judgment. And it just, to me, it feels anti-Christian. I just see a lot of anti-Christian behavior out of Christians. They want to look good for the Bible study. I know. See, this is where it all gets complicated, okay? The women, that's the demographic on women who seek an abortion. Yeah. What's the demographic? Let's find out. What are the demographics of women who seek abortions? Okay, here we go. Let's see what this is. The Guttmacher Institute. The Guttmacher Institute studies trends in abortion service provisions, patient demographic at the state and national level by providing crucial data on policy and analysis and on the characteristics of women seeking abortions. Okay, let's see. 60% of abortions are obtained by women in their 20s. 59% of abortions are obtained by women with children. Interesting. 49% of abortion patients live below the federal poverty level. Okay? So they're young, poor women that already have kids. How about that? Look at this. Let's see this. Characteristics of a U.S. abortion in 2014 and changes since 2008. Okay, in 2014, the majority of the patients, 60%, were in their 20s. The second largest was in their 30s. That's kind of like when people have kids, right? The proportion of abortion patients who were adolescents declined 32% between 2008 and 2004. No racial so I guess that's it. It's not like teenagers. Not as much. No racial or ethnic group made up the majority of abortion patients. 39% were white, 28% were black, 25% Hispanic, 6% Asian and Pacific Islander, and 3% were some other race. Wow. 59% had at least one previous birth. 2014, 3/4 of abortions were low income. The vast majority of abortion patients, 94, is identified as straight or heterosexual. 4% bisexual. Many abortion patients recorded a religious affiliation. Interesting, right? 24% were Catholic, 17% were mainline Protestant, 13% were evangelical, and 8% identified with some other religion. And then 38% had no religious affiliation. Doesn't mean they're atheist, but they, didn't pick an affiliation. Abortion patients were less likely to have no health insurance in 2014 and 28, likely because of the Affordable Care Act. 35% of patients had Medicaid coverage. 31% had private insurance, and 3% either had insurance. So most had insurance. 53% paid out of pocket. And then Medicaid was the second most common method. So I guess, I don't know. Is that interesting? It's kind of interesting. 100% for women. They didn't even say that, homie. How do you know? What are you, some sort of scientific guru, knowing that it was 100% women? That's a very good point, right? It's not men. By the way, I identify as Appalachian American. I never see representation for this group anywhere. So thank you for bringing up Appalachia. So I don't know if you want to divulge who you voted for president, but we do know that in Ohio, how much does an abortion cost? Great question. How much does an abortion cost? Planned Parenthood. Let's see here. In general, from $0 to $1,000. The cost of abortion depends on a few different things. Your health insurance, it may cover all or some of the cost of your abortion. Your income or financial support program. Where you live. The type of abortion you get. The abortion pill costs more than or less than an in-clinic abortion. How far along your private pregnancy is. So 0 to 1,000. That is a big difference. That is a big difference. It's a good question, though. You always go blue. Okay. Do you know a lot of people that voted for Trump? Because what I have heard is that, well, like, you know, what was the, hold on. How many Ohioans voted for Trump? Let's see here. So here it is. Wait. President Trump won the state by 8 points in 2016, but the race against Biden tightened in the final weeks of the campaign. Still 8 points. Still 8 points. And from what I understand, people in Appalachia, Ohio. Where is Appalachia in Ohio? That's just a picture of Ohio. Here we go. So it's this area, right? Come on, baby. Get bigger. So you can see this area cuts right in. Isn't that interesting? Right where it cuts in. It comes all the way down in here. It's a big portion of Ohio. And from what I understand, they went further. They were more supportive. The Southeast. I have a big family, and we were about 50-50 for the presidential race. Now, granted, I moved from the village. I lived in the city 16 years ago, and have surrounded myself with different people from what I've been raised around. Okay, very good. You live in the village like New York? Are we talking? I am in a point right now in my life where I am very interested in understanding other people. It's just a pastime for me to understand why people believe what they believe. I love it. I love it. And I love to understand people that are not me. In a village. Oh, sorry. Right on. Oh, I gotcha. So, like, look, I'm progressive, okay? I'm not a socialist. I am also a business owner. So my view is I like capitalism with regulations. I don't want Monroe County, Ohio, Google it, population. It's population. Okay, Monroe County, Ohio. Let's do that. Monroe County, Ohio population. Okay. Woo, going down. It was 17,000 in 1980, 15,000 in 2000, 13,000. It's going down. It's going down. Here it is over here. Right over here. Nice. Interesting, right? Like, how about what areas of Ohio are growth population areas? So there's basically one population that is growing, I believe, and I think it's just Columbus. It says while Ohio's growth is slow, it's still ahead of the rest of the country. Ohio has a population density of 282.3 people per square mile, ranking the 10th in the nation. Has the highest population with 850,000 residents. 388,000 in Cleveland, 298, and so forth. Akron, 197. So here, look at this. Interestingly, the cities are widely different when it comes to demographics growth. While Columbus is growing rapidly at a rate of 10% every decade, Cleveland, by comparison, is losing population at an alarming rate. In 1950, more than 900,000 people lived in Cleveland, and its population is declining at a rate similar to decaying cities like Detroit. So pretty interesting. And of course, Akron is in decline as well. And I think it's pretty it's natural. Oh, they struck oil. There's places like that that's still the greatest, like that's still in the greatest nation. If you like to understand people, perhaps some insight into why after 4 years of lies, deceit, drama, and impeachment. Okay, Bill Green, I am so glad you asked. Why do people vote for Trump? Okay. Now, let's just Google it. It's easy to understand. Let's hear what Omi says. I want to hear why Omi believes it. Because I believe it's easy too. They've been frustrated by the way things have been. Yes. Thank you, Omi. See, Omi has the great opportunity of living it with diversity, okay? Omi lives, do you still live in Morocco? So Omi is surrounded by people that voted for Trump. And Omi votes blue. I am quite surrounded by Trump supporters. Probably not to the point that Omi is, but can you understand how we have separated ourselves in this country these days, where liberals live with liberals and conservatives? Oh, you're in Akron now. Oh, sweet. Oh, good. Yeah. So it pays off, right? Like, I like living in Akron because of many things, but I like living in a liberal city. And may I say, I am going to try to push Akron as left as I humanly can in the next couple of years. I go back every year. My grandparents got indoor plumbing now. What? They must love that. Isn't that crazy? Indoor plumbing. They just recently got it. Man, that's going to be a nice winter, not having to go outside in the middle of the night. I bet they didn't. They just used probably a bedpan. That's wonderful news. So we live in our own bubbles, right? And we are hospitals, universities, and museums. Yes. Those things are in cities. I always joke, I'm so far left, I'm right. There's a lot of truth to that statement. So do you know why? Okay, let me see if I can Google this. Why did people vote for Donald Trump? Okay. Let's see what this guy says. I voted for Barack Obama twice, then reluctantly for Trump, and then now I'm convinced more than ever he's the right choice. Okay, let's see if I can skim through this. Okay, check this guy. When we got news of the death of Supreme Court Ruth Bader Ginsburg, I seriously considered changing my vote to the Democrats or not voting at all. In the days after the news, I really questioned how I could sit right with my actions, but as things stand now, Donald Trump will be getting my vote. As an out gay man and officer with 15 years of service in the Army, I find the identity politics the Democrats are pushing to be offensive. Can I let that sink in one more time? I find the identity politics the Democrats are pushing to be offensive. Do you understand how people that are not Democrats see Democrats? They're like, you either have to believe everything a Democrat believes or you are wrong. That's literally how it is. And that's how people see it. And that's how you guys act. You have to believe everything they believe or you're wrong. This time around, the biggest issue on the ballot for me is race, and a distant second is Joe Biden's mental capacity. Okay. So isn't this going to get good? How is this person going to write a gay officer in the military talking about race? President Trump's first term in office had clearly had its ups and downs. I really wish someone would take away his Twitter account. Yes, please. And I don't even know what to say about the first presidential debate. It was a nightmare. It was an absolute disaster. I said it was a nightmare. This is how we're going. If this is how we're going to be this year, there's no point in having the other two scheduled. That said, I feel Trump's actions as president are net positive. Prior to the pandemic, the economy was doing great. It's true. And there haven't been any surprises regarding big issues to me in 2016. The right to self-defense is intact. That's important to this person. We have a stronger middle class. We have made some, albeit minor, progress with immigration issues, and the boogeyman hasn't nullified my same-sex marriage. Black lives matter to everyone except Black lives matter. Interesting. As a white male in the age of identity politics, I am not allowed to say anything on the subject of race, but I'm going to say it anyways. There are several prominent black conservatives who cite some of the same things I have to say here, and the point is no less valid because of the color of my skin. Do you understand that this is not an uneducated person that voted for Trump? Do you get it? This is not some moron, racist hater, okay? At least so far. We'll see. Maybe it's going to get racist and ignorant. I don't know. To start with, my parents did not pay for my first car, college, or give me any money to get started in life. When I was floundering just after high school and didn't have anywhere to live, my parents told me to figure it out because my decisions had led me to where I was, and they were not going to be responsible for my actions. My white privilege didn't knock on the door and hand me a pile of cash, a degree, a car, solve all my problems. I was on my own, and I joined the army to make something of myself instead of blaming the world for my problems. So this person is like one of the, like, I know that identity politics is what they're saying, but as I read that, this is an independent person. So this is a person that has been taught, go out there and do things on your own, okay? And that is a complicated position, but not illegitimate. When the Black Lives Matter movement first gained national attention during the Obama administration, my initial thought were to support for the movement, though I questioned their name. Of course, Black Lives Matter. Why wouldn't they? Are they implying other lives don't matter? You see, it is complicated, right? It's a controversial moniker, you know, because it does say if you don't understand it, you're like, well, what? So nobody else's lives matter? And of course, that's not what it means. Upon further research, I learned the movement was about equality for all and about making sure black lives have the same value as anyone else. This is a message I can absolutely stand behind. There's just one problem. The Black Lives Matter movement, there's just one problem. The Black Lives Matter movement decided to focus solely on black men killed by police, later expanding to include the anecdotal example of black men killed by white men who were appropriately charged with murder. Whether or not the shots officers fired were justified did not matter. Whether or not the deceased were a career criminal actively threatening. Okay, so this guy's a military guy, though, right? There's so many other things killing African Americans. I'm not going to go on anymore because then you can kind of see where it's going. But, so what I'm getting at here is this, if you aren't willing, Bill wants me to stop the barrage of posts long enough for Sage to address the question why he thinks, oh, yeah, no, I'm doing it okay. I like to hear what other people say, Bill. And if I could suggest, I see on both sides, but I definitely see it on the progressive side, an unwillingness to listen to Trump supporters. Because you have this binary, and I know I'm using that word on purpose because you've learned as a liberal now to not be binary. You've learned it, right? It's not cool to be binary anymore. You have to, in our sexuality, we have to be pansexual, which of course I support, but I'm using that word against you. So, we are falling for the trap. okay? We are being hypnotized. Ah, okay. Yeah, I know, but Omi has a right to talk, and Omi, I mean, I can talk well. Omi, like, look, I'm bantering on and on in no way making a point astutely and succinctly, so you have something else you can read while I banter. So at any rate, that's the beauty of live, right? That's why live video is nice, because as I say boring, pointless stuff, other people can say things that are more insightful potentially. So look, and I'm responding to you too. I know what you're saying. Stop responding to Omi. Respond to my question. Well, I'm responding to you too, right? So that's the beauty of this medium. You see, I get to talk to you guys instead of you just watching TV. It's interactive TV. So okay. So what I'm getting at is that if we do not want a civil war, which I'm now putting at 30%, okay? I'm guessing, but when I think of what's the likelihood of us having a civil war, I'm putting it at 30% right now. Because I see both sides doing this. That nobody is listening to the other side. They're just spouting their old, how Colt am I? It's Colt. How are you? Oh, Colt! My man, Colt! I was off talking to my kids about video games and heard it in my AirPod. Right on. Colt, it is so good to hear from you. How are you doing? So the reason I think that, and 30% is a huge percentage, may I say, okay? And the reason I think so is because you guys refuse to talk to each other. You just yell at each other. And so it's just going to get more and more and more, and then finally, my daughter asked me, my son yesterday, what would the next war be called and when would it start? Yeah. So you guys are going at each other without any awareness of what you're doing. Because do you guys remember how the World War I started? Do you know how it started? How did World War I start? Okay. This guy right here makes a wonderful PDF. The immediate cause, assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand. I want to read this because if you don't know this, this is an amazing story. The immediate cause of World War I that made the aforementioned items come into play, there were other things, imperialism, alliances, militarism, nationalism, blah, 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 was the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand of Austria-Hungary. In June of 1914, a Serbian nationalist terrorist group called the Black Hand sent groups to assassinate the Archduke. Just wait, this gets so good. Their first attempt failed when a driver avoided a grenade thrown at the car. So the Archduke, incidentally, is driving in a convertible. Literally in a convertible. There is a grenade thrown at him, and do you know what he does? He keeps driving around in a convertible. However, later that day, a Serbian nationalist named Gavrilo Princip assassinated him and his wife while they were in Sarajevo, Bosnia, which was part of Austria-Hungary. And do you know how it happened? I'll tell you how it happened. This is what I heard. I heard it on Hardcore History. Incidentally, if you've never listened to a podcast on Hardcore History, you are missing out on quality information and entertainment. So Gavrilo was all sad because he tried to assassinate the Archduke and he was bummed out, and so he went to go have a sandwich because that's what assassins did in 1914. People that were assassinated continue to drive around in their freaking convertible, and assassins go have a sandwich. I'm not joking about this, okay? So Garvillo's all bummed out having his sandwich. He has his sandwich. He walks outside the sandwich shop, And who does he see in a convertible? The Archduke. Pulls out his gun, bam, bam, shoots the Archduke and his wife, starts World War I. I'm not even joking you. Yeah, look it up. You will love it, Omi. Love it. Yeah, Brandy. So, yeah, see, Omi, I love my Trump people even if they like Trump. I get it. I just don't agree with it. But I get it. See, that's it. That is how you avoid a civil war. That you get it. And Omi gets it because Omi is surrounded by a diverse group of people. Omi said up above that Omi's boyfriend, significant other, is a lawyer and voted red. Yeah, boyfriend, lawyer and voted red. Doesn't mean they can't be wonderful soulmates, and they can still be, and probably they're both much more sophisticated than they're thinking than the radicals on either side. Okay? What do you think of networks like Fox News that operate as a Trump worship center and create an echo chamber for Trump supporters to continue the many conspiracy theories that have been put forth, groups like QAnon? Well, shows you what you know, Bill. Fox is out. Fox is out, man. You don't go to Fox anymore. They're lame. They're the lamestream media, dude. Dude. Parler, baby. You go to Parler. Go over here to Parler. Okay? You go to Parler. And you read crazy crap from Mark Levin and Ted Cruz and Diamond and Silk. David Frum is a despicable fool, says Mark Levin. He spins an elaborate conspiracy. The media are reporting the coronavirus cases are spreading big time. I guess that means Fauci et al. Blew it. People are wearing masks. People are distancing. People are washing their hands and using hand sanitizer. Many are working from home. All kinds of businesses are shuttered. Schools are what are you getting at? Blah, blah, blah. Say something I don't know. You're Mark freaking Levin. Say something interesting, for God's sake. Anyways, this is where they're going. Oh, and wait, there's a new media center that you can go hang out at. What is it called? New TV station for hardcore conservatives. Let me get that. Google knows. OAN. This is a good one. One American, okay. Fox News called Arizona, I think it was, before anybody else. But, okay. Anyways, of course, okay. So, yeah. So there you go. Omi says, I don't even know any respectable Trump people who are into that shit. Yeah. See, that's the thing. Brandy's from good old Crawford County. What? Where's that at? Let me Google that. Hold on. Let me Google Crawford County. Hold on. Where's Crawford County? Where is Crawford County, Ohio? Bucyrus. Oh, I like Bucyrus. Mexico. There's literally a place called Mexico down there. What? No. I swear I saw it. Is there literally a place called Mexico down here? I thought I saw it. Anyways, Bucyrus. Look at that. I like Bucyrus. So, yeah, look. Probably Appalachia. Well, I don't know. Is that Appalachia? It's kind of southwest of Akron. But let me put it another way. We are all being subjected to propaganda, okay? I like CNN. I like it. You know why I like it? Because it pays off what I believe, okay? So they keep talking about, the president refusing to secede. Trump says for the first time Biden won, but later insists he's not conceding. And then they scare us shitless with coronavirus, as well they should. So, and then there's an Obama memoir, confronts his role in the presidency. If you don't believe that CNN skews liberal, you aren't paying attention, okay? If you really want to get real news, you can gouge your eyes out over here at Reuters. Because this shit is boring, okay? So here, Trump backtracks on acknowledging Biden wins, concedes nothing. Trump side, okay, here, you want to just read the most boring press ever? President Donald Trump backtracked after appearing on Sunday to acknowledge for the first time that Joe Biden won the November 3 election, saying he conceded nothing, repeating his unfounded. Biden defeated Trump by winning a series of battleground states. This is actually mildly entertaining, but I'm telling you, I can't even go over here because it's so freaking boring. It's so boring, okay? It's terrible. It's terrible. I go back, I try. Look, it's like eating carrots or Brussels sprouts, which my wife has an obsession with Brussels sprouts right now. She can't get enough of them. I can't do it. I can't, like, Reuters is Brussels sprouts to me with no frickin' butter, okay? Okay? I can't do it. I got to go to the New York Times, which is actually fairly mainstream. I like CNN. I go to CNN and then I go to Twitter, which is so liberal. Everything about Twitter is totally liberal. It's crazy progressive paradise over there. So at any rate, look, what else? I don't even know any respectable Trump people who are into that shit. That's the exact thing. What I want Omi to, what Omi is saying is true. And I'm going to wrap up here because you guys got to live your life, okay? But I want you to, before you leave, I want you to know I love you. I love you. I love you, okay? So I know a lot of Trump supporters, and they are not racist Nazis, okay? They're just people that are concerned about socialism. They're concerned about changing the entire paradigm of what America stands for. And they have rights to consider. Do we want to be Europe? I would like to be Europe. I mean, yeah, I do, but I can understand why they don't want to be Europe. They want to be America, okay? Can you understand that? Look how much it has spread, yeah. This streamed somewhere. I wish this streamed somewhere. Like so. So, look, I'm here to tell you, I believe, wait, I have one more thing. Clarabelle, I'll cuddle in a minute. I'm sorry. Oh, you can never not cuddle the dog. That is probably the most hateful thing you can do on earth, is when your dog wants cuddles, you don't cuddle him, okay? That's sacrilege, okay? You got to cuddle Clarabelle. Cuddle. Yes, there she is. Okay, so, look, do you guys know how the Civil War started? My favorite guy, yeah, John Brown. He went around just murdering slaveholders, and he just was crazy. And he went down to Georgia? No, he didn't. That was a guy that wrote a song. Where did he freaking go? I'm so lame. Thank you. He went to Harper's Ferry. He went down to Harper's Ferry, tried the most stupid plan ever concocted. His idea was this, okay? His idea was he was going to go down with a small group of people. He was going to overtake this arms munition area. He was going to get all these guns in the hands of slaves, and he was going to create this amazing revolt of slaves, okay? This guy is such an idealist, he thinks everybody wants to go frickin' kill people. No, it was only him, it turns out, okay? So he asked Harriet Tubman to go with him, and she's like, that's the stupidest plan. I love you, John Brown. Thank you for being such a supporter, but that's the most stupid thing I've ever heard. I'm out. And then he asked that amazing African-American. Well, sit down. Hold on. Okay, hold on. African-American friends of John Brown. Not average. Lame. It said average. African-American friends of John Brown. Frederick Douglass. God, my wife is so smart. Frederick Douglass, he was a little more democratic on the idea. Incidentally, Republicans. They were all Republicans at the time. Don't forget that. And he's like, man, John, I would love to do that. I really think that's great, but I'm busy that weekend. He's like, I would love to be down with you, but I just have this other thing going, so I can't make it. And boy, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry I can't make it. But maybe, maybe next time. I'll get you next time. No, there was no next time. They believe that raid on Harper's Ferry was what they call the dress rehearsal to the Civil War, okay? And I'm here to tell you, Jesus lives matter. What? Jesus lives? Does he have multiple lives? I don't even know what you're saying. Going to Harper's Ferry for Thanksgiving. Oh, wow. I haven't been. I got to go down. The devil went down to Georgia. John Brown went down to Thanksgiving dinner at Harper's Ferry. No, Omi went down to Thanksgiving for Harper's Ferry. You get out, Omi. You get out. Are you going down there? Are you going to skateboard with your kids? Okay. Jesus does matter. Yes, Jim. It's not really what we were talking about, but yes. Jesus is an important figure in history, and we should try to get through the differences that the church has caused, the division the church has caused against Jesus, and try to get back to his philosophical roots, because there's a lot of value there. Need to have homeless people reenactment these historical events. That's a good idea. So at any rate, what I'm getting at, oh, you will skate. Excellent news. He rose from the dead, so you say. A lot of people back then rose from the dead, Jimmy. A lot of people rose from the dead. It was the thing you did. Now nobody rises from the dead. You know why? Because we have more science now and Facebook. Look, the next time you get somebody to raise from the dead, besides shooting them with Narcan, maybe you can't use Narcan, then fine. Get it on video, and then maybe I'll talk to you. But until then, look, I don't think he rose from the dead. I know that's controversial for some Christians. It's not controversial for everyone else in the world, but I get it. Some Christians are upset that I say that. That he did not raise from the dead. Doesn't mean I'm an atheist, incidentally. I just don't believe. I don't believe God impregnated 14-year-old Mary. I don't believe that. And why did God impregnate a 14-year-old? Actually, they say between 12 and 14. That guy needed, if God did that to her, I feel that he needs some therapy, because God is now a pedophile. See? I can't stop the incendiary comments. I just can't. Anyways, I'm here to tell you people, if you want a civil war, keep doing what you're doing. Just keep doing what you're doing. I will say this. No, it's not a bad thing. I was an atheist for a long time. My wife is an atheist. My best friend is an atheist. A lot of atheists. I totally get it. I just think sometimes you atheists, and I'm not saying you, Omi, sorry. Sometimes you atheists do it because you're upset of organized religion, not because you don't believe that there is something bigger than us. And that's all I'm saying, okay? You don't have to accept organized religion to believe in something bigger than you. That's all I'm saying. And I will say this, if you believe there's something bigger than you, I don't think, respectfully, you can be an atheist. That's just me. Anyways, you guys are trying to start a civil war, and I'm going to say I'm not going to probably play in your civil war. I'm not against fighting. Now, a revolutionary war, I'm down. I'd send my family overseas or wherever for a little vacation, and I would fight that. But I'm not going to fight against you guys. If I'm not going to fight against liberals versus conservatives, I'm not. I'm just going to go to Mexico. And I don't think there's a God or we created for a purpose. Okay, I can be down with that, Omi, but I still don't think that necessarily means then you're an atheist. Maybe. Well, that there is a God. Okay, that is pretty atheist. Okay, you're right. That is atheist. I'm sorry. It's kind of the definition of it. Sorry, Omi. You're right. Yeah, I'm going to tell you right now, and you're going to, if you hate me now for the inflammatory things I say, wait till you see me in Canada or Mexico as you guys are chopping each other up. because I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to fight a civil war with you guys because you're being ignorant. Both sides are being ignorant. Now, you want to fight against, you want to have a you want to like no representation without taxation, blah, or whatever type of thing against the government, still send my family someplace else, and then I'm down. But I'm not going to fight your civil war. I'm just not going to. So there you go. And so I'm doing my part to try to get you people to wake up and realize that they are not the enemy. Trump supporters are not your enemy. Biden supporters are not your enemy. The machine is the enemy. They are the ones spinning you up to hate each other. They're making you binary. Yeah, my kids need me, but I'm raising my army. Yeah, right on. Yeah, I'm just not. I'm Mexico. Yeah, Mexico, Ohio. Is there one? I swear to God, I saw it on the map down by Bucyrus. Hold on. Mexico, Ohio. Is it a real thing? It's a real thing. Look. It's right there in Timoch Township. That is the weirdest thing I've ever seen. It's northwest of Sycamore. I used to go to Sycamore. Had family in Sycamore. Had Norma. Norma lived in Sycamore. Had a 1,000-acre farm. But I never been to Mexico, Ohio. Look at that. I'd like to go to Mexico, Ohio, see what they do over there. I bet they got a Mexican restaurant. They got to have at least one. All right. Yeah, conservatives speed by reproducing the drug. Right on. Liberals spread by converting. Conservatives spread by reproducing. Oh, interesting. I dig it. That's very thoughtful, actually, Omi. That's, yeah. You got to believe, you got to stop believing the hype. Most Trump supporters are not racist Nazis, so stop saying it. Yes, there were racist Nazis that supported Trump, but most of them are not. Okay? 99% of them are not racist Nazis. Okay? A few minutes from me. Road trip, Rocky, one-tank trip. Yeah, to Mexico. We should go to Mexico, Ohio, Rocky. Marshall says we should go. We're going to Mexico, one-tank trip. I'd like to say that. Literally, I'm going to look into that. I don't think I can go in coronavirus time. Someday I'll go. Someday I'll go to Mexico. You guys are drinking the Kool-Aid on both sides, and you're being fed this bullcrap from the machine. The machine is filling your heads, and they don't mind you going to war with each other. They love it. Fills, it filters out the weak and the stupid, and on both sides. What if you lose 500,000 people like the last Civil War? Good news. Why don't you lose 1 million or 2 million? We got 40 million of us. What's 1 million or 2 million? We've already lost 230,000 here at coronavirus time. We can go bigger on that. So they love it. They love it. They'll sell you guns. They'll sell you the ammunition all day long. They would love it. You'll buy more crap. So, yeah, you're being suckered, people. If you think that Trump supporters are just racist Nazis, you are being suckered. And if you feel that liberals are socialist, vegetarians, I don't know. What do conservatives think that? Well, yeah, you'd be wrong about that too. I'm not socialist. I'm not. I'm a capitalist with regulations. Like I like that my kid didn't have to go to work when he was 10. Child labor laws. Thank you very much. I like having rules. The reason I like having rules in capitalism is then because everybody has to play by them. You can't just be nice in capitalism because then you'll get crushed. You have to have universal rules like $15 wage. I thought a lot about that. My father-in-law said, well, the reason I'm concerned about $15 an hour is because people are not going to be inspired to work harder and move up the ladder. They're just going to take the first job they get. And I think I really thought a lot about that, and I'm like, well, that is going to be challenging, right? Like, so let's say everybody makes $15 an hour. At the beginning, there are going to be people that just come in with no experience making $15 an hour, and a person that's been there for 10 years making $15 an hour, and the person that's been there for 10 years is going to be rightfully bitter. I like being nice. Everything else is exhausting. Me too, homie. But then what I think will ultimately happen is the guy that's been there for 10 years will get bitter and upset, and he'll go someplace where he makes $20 an hour. And so the idea, I think, and again, this is theory, it could be totally wrong, but the idea would be then you set the base at $15 an hour, the market recalibrates, so products take in that, they set in that $15 an hour base on the product, and then they go up from there. Because ultimately, I do think that you should be able to live when you work full time, no matter what job you do. There shouldn't be a job where you work full time and can't survive. And I also, incidentally, do not believe that the government should subsidize that. That's not how the game should be played. The rules need to be fair. That you you just have to pay a fair livable wage in your community, Why does your father-in-law care what those people do? Tell him to do. Oh, well, he's thinking I think his point is that he is concerned that people are not going to naturally strive to be better. But you see, what's interesting is he's a money-motivated guy, okay? And so for him, it's all about the money. Like, why would he have worked so hard, which he did work incredibly, incredibly hard. He's retired now, and he deserves he saved money. He deserves everything. I don't think he probably ever took unemployment or any, And so, yeah, that's not right? That like Walmart employees are being subsidized by their family and the government, and that's not right. That's not right. And so I don't believe in, I just don't believe that the means of production should be put in the hands of the people. I don't think they're responsible enough. They don't know what the hell they're doing. The means of production needs to stay in the private sector. That's my belief. I could be wrong, okay? But I'm just telling you what I believe. And I believe that money needs to stay in the private sector, or the means of production stays in the private sector, but government puts down laws that make it a livable wage. Not everyone's supposed to climb and do better. Right. Why place those? That's it. So what ultimately is, we all are getting caught up in our own perspective, right? And it should come as no surprise that I'm a capitalist, because I'm a business owner. It's not lost on me that I am biased to my own beliefs. Of course I'm not going to be a socialist, because I've spent my whole life running businesses. So I get it that I'm brainwashing myself. I get it. Everyone is an essential piece of fabric. Yeah. So, but I'm also not money motivated. I'm creation motivated. So, like, for me, I would love to not have to worry about making a living wage, Like, wouldn't it be, for me, it would be great. Like, say, for example, I could bag groceries. Well, I've got a dreamy life. I wouldn't do it now, but like when I was young, like I could bag groceries 40 hours a week, pay for my food, pay for my rent, pay for my internet. I could afford a phone. That's all I need. And then I do all of my creative things. I write books. Maybe I'd write a play. Maybe I'd paint. These are the things that I would do, And that would be great, as opposed to having to be obsessed with making a living, which is not Yeah, I don't want to pay someone else's salary. I'd rather donate to the person in need directly. Yeah, right. So I don't like to donate to charities. Yeah, I don't blame you. I do like paying directly myself. However, I do have a really interesting protest slash performance art project, I think, coming up. And stay tuned. I'm going to need some money for it. Anyways, I got to go, people. Did I tell you I love you? I love all of you. I love you crazy liberals. I love you crazy conservatives. I get both of your sides. Stop yelling at each other. Stop calling each other names. Stop calling me libtards and bootlickers. And it's just mean. It's condescending. You don't do it to gay people anymore. You don't do it to African Americans anymore, but you still do it to white people. Like it's crazy. So without poor and needy people, those people in the charities would be unemployed. Therefore, we would need needy people. Yeah. All right. Yes. Okay, guys. Everyone thinks they deserve more than the next person. Well, that's true. And that's where the problem with socialism comes, I think. I love you. Have a great day. Try to not call other people you disagree with names. That would be good. That would be really good. Bye.